Cody now on the toes. Coming down to 1 minute to go in period 2.
Zaki ducking under again.
Uh-oh.
Cody stepping over. Got double grapevine in. We haven't had a takedown call yet because Mizaki is trying to force his way back through, trying to bridge through. Right there's the takedown. We got near fall points coming. I don't think Mizaki... Well, yes, he let that arm get trapped. He's very close. I'm not sure if possibly if Gene would come over. It's all over.
2:31 the time. And the place erupts. Take another look. Wow.
10-6. That's a big turnaround.
Well, we've seen 3 bouts so far, and the lead has changed each and every bout.
And we haven't seen a simple decision yet.
Nazareth, Dave Emili, Northampton.
And here we go. Dave Emili is back on the mat. Just a little over a week after completely blowing out the anterior cruciate ligament of his left leg. And he's up against Brian Taschner.
And Taschner right in on the shot, on the good leg. Trying to convert. Emili close to the edge.
He's got
the takedown. Got the takedown. And here's where I don't know whether it was intentional to go in on that leg, but he's limping pretty heavily there.
Oh, man.
Can't even really get the leg out straight.
Taschner, no slouch, number 2 at 125 pounds. Behind number 1, Emili. Emili, though, taken out of the rankings when he blew out that knee. Nobody thought he'd ever be back to wrestle.
As I said, he attacked the good leg. Some people would think you'd want to attack the bad leg, but if you got a brace on, it's going to be hard to do anything. You go on the good leg, make him walk on the bad leg.
Yeah, you know.
And that's what he did. He wasn't able to stand up when he shot in.
Now Emili tries to tie.
Now some of this, we'll see what Emili's able to do. Right now, he's having trouble even walking. But sometimes you get yourself going a little bit. You can convince yourself you can go a little harder and you forget about it and you push. We'll see. But he's really having trouble even standing up straight or getting into a referee's position.
A lot of courage out there on that mat. Dave Emili not wanting his senior season to end, especially after finishing as a runner-up in the PIAA tournament a year ago.
I think the original thinking was that they wanted to put him against the lesser experienced wrestler for Nazareth, which would have been Faust up a weight. But at this point, they've got Hoff down there. And again, we're in on the right leg. Probably make it off the mat here. All 4 knees are right at the line. Emili with a whizzer. But they probably were would rather have put him against the weaker wrestler for Nazareth. But at this point, it's going to be hard to find him since they moved their other guys around. And right now, with that pin at the previous weight, they don't have any choice. They got to beat somebody big time now.
The amazing thing is, you look at Emili's face, and you cannot even have a hint of detection of what pain he is going through. He's just gutting this one out. Coming down to 10 seconds to go in period 1.
He just a little sneaky warning for stalling as he got back into the center. I thought that's what he was calling because they weren't off the mat, but then he didn't say anything, and he made the call as he was walking back in. So a warning against Emili there.
5 seconds, less than 5 now. And Taschner with a 1-point lead over Emili, 2-1.
Again, with an injury of this nature, sometimes if you can get it warmed up, it doesn't necessarily actually hurt that much at this point. The damage is done if he supposedly had it drained. It may be the brace that's keeping him from getting into position rather than the injury, because the braces are extremely awkward. I had 3 or 4 different ones myself, and very difficult to get into position. And it may be the brace itself that is keeping him from doing what he wants to do. So, like I say, if he let it get cool, that's when it stiffens up. If he had it kept warm, and right now he's got, besides the brace, he's got some big padding on there, so it's probably pretty hot under there, so it might be loose enough to go from that standpoint.
Well, Emili again blew out his knee just a little more than a week ago. It came against Phillipsburg's Tim Moore at 125 pounds. Emili took a 16-0 record into the bout, blew out his knee early in the bout, and finished it with a cement job pin to go 17-0.
And that's still the thing to watch out for here, regardless of what the score is going to be.
Tashner,
we're taking the timeout. I saw Tashner switch from leg to leg, and I don't know exactly what. Well, let's not presume it's.
Let's take a look. We can see.
As you can see, he was putting this is just a normal way to bring a man down, is to come around front and try to straighten his knee out and drop him down. But under the circumstances, it's forcing it back, and he might not be able to straighten the leg very well normally.
Yeah, Neely signaling for the injury clock to start.
30 seconds.
As he knew something was definitely wrong. What a tough kid, though. He'd rather use up all his injury time out before conceding this one, and he'd like to continue to go on. That is one tough character. There you have a close-up of the thick leg, all padded and braced, and he uses less than a minute of injury time. 1:39 remaining in period 2. You got to feel a little I don't know, a little remorse for Dan Tashner, too, out there. Brian Tashner, I should say. He's going after this poor guy, only has one leg to work with. And he's got to treat him like he would any other wrestler.
Well, that's right. You can't change up. You know, it's one thing if there's a mismatch here. If it was a very inexperienced wrestler, you could be the gentleman and just do something to stay away from it. Not in a match like this.
No.
It's unfortunate. If he chose to go out, he's ready to go out.
Now Emili,
I think he knew it. I think Emili knows it. He's not. I don't see Tashner going after the leg particularly either. I mean, you don't want to see that he goes after it in more or less an unsportsmanlike situation where that's what he's trying to do. He's trying his stuff.
1:15 to go in period 2. And it's still only 2-1 in favor of Tashner.
So it can even be hard to get to a base here for Emili, because he can't really slide that leg up very easily. And right now he's going to try the snap drop from the bottom.
Wow!
Well,
Tashner was going after the leg that was braced, and Emili got out of there in a hurry.
Emili basically, since he went to a cement job, came around and was very close to going over, but Tashner managed to pop through.
Emili had the lead after the reversal, and Tashner escapes for one. We are tied at 3 with 35 seconds to go in the second period. An injury timeout has been called for Tashner. Tashner has a bloody nose. It will not be an official injury timeout, but an official timeout.
And this is apparently a genetic problem there. Danny up at Lehigh has had all sorts of nose problems this year. When he had to wrestle off, we must have delayed the bout for 10 minutes, and then we couldn't continue it. It's one of the few times that I've seen a bloody nose where we didn't continue the bout.
Yeah, as I recall, in high school, he had the same problem. And we see the other Tashner here, young Brian, with a similar problem. Brian Tashner, his last wrestling bout only lasted 1 minute and 1 second. He pinned Stroudsburg's Pablo Rivera. And as we mentioned, Mizaki finished his last one with a pin early against Phillipsburg's Tim Moore.
Yeah, I don't know if we had done the ratings, but Tashner was honorable mention in the Express, second in the morning call. He was second in the districts, fourth in the regions last year. Emili, second in the Express. Right now, actually unrated in the morning call, but that's because of the injury. Again, Ted sticks by some of his rules, and he says if you're injured, you're not in. So he doesn't rate him. He would have been second rated, I believe, behind Mike Coyle. I think that's how he had him rated before that. And he was first in the districts, first in the regions, second in the states last year.
And Emili is battling. 20 seconds to go in period 2.
Now, last year, Tashner won 7-5 over Emili in this version of the duel.
Tashner bleeding again from the nose.
Now, in the common opponents at the Walsh-Jesuit duel, Emili won in overtime 6-4 against Adam Klaus, one of the top wrestlers for Walsh, I believe a state runner-up. And Tashner lost 14-4 to the same wrestler. So there's some contrary results here.
Gives you an idea of what Emili's capable of when he's 100% healthy. But of course, with that leg all wrapped up and braced, we can't call him anywhere near healthy right now. Let's take a look at what went on today over at Lehigh. The Engineers doing a nice job against Ryder today. They won number 7, 23-13. This Engineer team's for real this season.
Well, this is the first time, you know, we have a lot of seniors. Everybody's healthy. Basically, everybody's healthy. And they're working real hard. And as you said, 7-0. We haven't done that since I think it was 1966. We actually got off to a 10-0 stretch there. But even in some of the good years since then, when we were third in the nation, we haven't had this type of a start. And we've got some tough ones coming up, but we're pretty happy so far.
And if you've never been to a Lehigh wrestling meet at home, there are only a couple left, I understand, Navy being one of them.
Next Saturday, Navy at home at Great Hall in the evening, and then February, I forget the weekend, 21st, I think, is Army.
Bring in the military.
That one's over at Stabler.
And even if the Engineers weren't all that good, you'd still want to go to a Lehigh wrestling meet just to hear the golden tones of Gary Brownell, the Gimster, on the microphone. And the good news, along with the Lehigh win, is that all 4 nationally ranked wrestlers pulled out victories today as well.
That's right. So that's good for us in that sense here.
Well, the mat cleaning is done. Tashner's nose is probably filled with cotton by now. It looks like we're ready to restart.
If he'd only bleed on the red part of the mat.
And here we go with 20 seconds to go in period 2. Tied at 3.
Emili attacking, a lot of tapping on the head, working into the front head and arm, the cement job type situation. Now going to the regular front head and arm. Tashner doing the Tashner spin through.
And
Some of his brother does a lot.
Time will run out here. And Tashner again.
Well, it's been 10 seconds.
He's losing blood once again, and Emili will have to go get himself wiped off as they work on Tashner's nose, and will have to come out and clean the mat once again. Let's take a look at the Tashner spin.
Underarm spin. Sometimes what you can do when you finish that off is you end up fairly close to the one leg. Danny does it a lot, although he actually usually does it from his knees rather than from standing position. I've seen him do it from there, but it's mostly from his knees, and a lot of time he's able to spin behind and get to the leg.
It's another family trait, I guess, huh?
Oh, yeah. I don't remember seeing anybody else do it quite like that.
Once again, rehashing the results at Lehigh. Steve Cassidy, 5th ranked at 150 pounds, won his bout today, improves his record to 12 wins and 2 losses. I understand he's approaching the 100-win mark in his career.
Yes, he is. Pete Yazzo he was a national champ in '87, is our only wrestler ever to get 100 wins, and Steve's working on it.
And it looks like we're ready to start period 3. We'll get to the rest of the Lehigh nationally ranked wrestlers in a moment, but there's the escape. And the lead now belongs to Tashner. Emili continues to work up and down. Tashner defending himself nicely. Now Tashner on the move as they go off the mat. 1:16 to go.
See, Emili, a very well built wrestler, and not that Tashner's weak by any means, but Northampton typically they're a big weight training program. Particularly, you can see what I was just looking at was Emili's leg. I can only see the one, but
a healthy one. Yeah,
it's very powerful.
It's not all upper body by any means.
No.
50 seconds to go. Emili still trails by 1.
Emili working in, driving in, trying to set up possibly a throw, a pancake. He's right now got a whizzer and an underhook. He's going to try to throw him through, but just can't get enough. Couldn't get enough twist. I think he's maybe calling for a timeout. Maybe just he made a signal with his hands. It might have just been sort of a little shrugging the shoulder type.
Tashner goes to work on the arm. Tries for a tilt. 12 seconds. And Tashner leads 8-3. Potentially dangerous hold is called. Emili, only 10 seconds to make up 5 points in a very gallant effort here at 125. And I think you're going to get a standing ovation from both sides after this one.
Ryan Tashner takes an 8-3 decision.
Wow. What a show of courage by Emili. Let's take a look at Tashner's big move here. And actually, it was Emili who initiated it.
Right, he was trying to throw, and he had to do something at that point. He had to try to score. And it can be tough to get into an arching position when you can't move your leg very well.
Team score 13-6. You see it there in favor of Nazareth. And now for Nazareth, it's Justin Hoff against Mike Katsaros. Hoff, the 130-pounder for the Blue Eagles, a senior, 16 wins, 3 losses, #1 in the morning call poll, and he is in quickly and out just as quickly. Katsaros, also a senior, getting out of those clutches. Katsaros record 8 wins, 10 losses. And Nazareth here on paper looks to put some more points on the team board.
Looks like Katsaros took a little shot. Not sure I want to say where, but
well, it's going to take a little time to recover from that kind of blow.
Hoff was 4th district's 4th regions last year. His rating, I don't know if you mentioned, is up at 135 and just dropping down now to 130.
Katsaros back on his feet.
18.
Only 18 seconds spent on the, oh, look out.
Trying for a headlock.
Hoff has not used the same move twice here, and he's been the aggressor. Now he gets the takedown.
This time, basically, just taps him on the head. He went down, spun behind. Trying to check back. Katsaros sat out a little far away. Again, you can see where his hips are a little far forward of his shoulders. You can tug on the shoulders a little bit, and sometimes you can get the guy to come right back into you, onto his back.
Coming down to a minute to wrestle in the first period. Nazareth's Hoff leading Katsaros 2-0. Look at this. Catzaro slipping away.
He tried to go for the pin right away, and Catzaro's good enough to stay on his feet.
Take a quick look at that one. Whoops.
Trying a cement job on a concrete kid. I guess you don't want to try that all the time. Although we had that last week. Works sometimes.
30 seconds to go. They tie up. Catzaro's looking to shoot, and Hoff countering. Now he'll come in with a fireman's.
Got a chance to pull him back over for back points here. That's what he does.
Well, he's got 2 back points for his efforts.
He's still got the arm tied up on the back. Oh, it's a little high now. He might stop that.
Interesting how the referees work in tandem, Gimp. We have 2 available, and they are both working each and every bout together, one being a primary referee and the other kind of helping out.
They use this system a lot. They've changed over the years. Sometimes they've gone with 3 refs, sometimes 2. The current set of rules are to try 2, and there's that fireman carry. Depends on who you've got, whether it works or not, the 2 referee system. In a situation like this where you've got 2 people, Wass and Colette are pretty good friends. They work together a lot. They'll listen to each other. They have a lot of respect for each other, so they'll listen. Sometimes you get them where they don't know each other that much, or maybe one's a little timid, and all he'll do is say yes every time the other one makes a call. Well, that's not what you want out of it. What you want is some good, honest, if there's a close call, let's hear what the other guy has to say.
Right.
And if they do that right, it works well.
Even a simple exercise such as tapping the ref on the back when the time is run off the clock.
Right, he doesn't, that's right, the one on the mat, he doesn't have to keep an eye out on it. During a dual meet, sometimes you got to look up, down, and you can lose track of one thing or the other, and probably lose track of both in a lot of cases. This time now it's his job to keep an eye on that. He can help you keep track of whether you're on the line, over the line. He doesn't have to watch everything. He just watch a couple of things and help you out.
Just under a minute to wrestle in period 2. Hoff leading Catzaro 7-1. Hoff breaks Catzaros down and then spins around.
Catzaros took the shot, got a little extended. Hoff let him pop his head up a little bit and then pulled him back, extended him all the way forward, and then easy spin behind. And now Catzaro's coming around to where he has a single leg of his own there. Hoff working to a front head and arm, but it's still his control at this point. Hoff spins behind. Now it may have looked like an escape. Well, now we get one. It may have looked like an escape at that point, but since Hoff was still on top, they won't give it until it's a clear-cut situation.
7 seconds to go in period 2. And as time runs out on period 2, we'll be right back with the rest of this bout right after this on TV2 Sports.
So you want a loan from a big bank, huh? Well, we'll let you know in a few weeks after the loan committee meets up at headquarters. Hey, Sunshine, it looks like you should be doing business with First Star Savings Bank, a bank that is owned and operated by people right here in the Lehigh Valley, a bank that will give you quick decisions, a bank whose deposits are loaned out right here in the Lehigh Valley to your friends and neighbors. First Star Savings Bank, the Yes Bank.
This bean contains a nutrient vital to the birth of a healthy baby. It's called folic acid, and it's found in beans, green leafy vegetables, fruits, and vitamin pills. Without folic acid, your baby could be born with life-threatening birth defects. That's why the March of Dimes says that before you get pregnant, you need folic acid in your diet every day. So if you don't think this can make a difference in the health of your baby, you don't know beans. Preventing birth defects starts before you're pregnant. Get the facts. Call the March of Dimes.
See all you want to see. Turn on Service Electric Cable TV. We were the first to lead the way. The pioneering spirit is still with us today. Channel after channel, we bring you more. More of what you want to see is on Service Electric Cable TV.
All right, opening seconds of the third period here at 130 pounds. Hop with a 9-2 lead for Nazareth over Northampton's Mike Katsaros. And he gets away for a single point on the escape, does Katsaros. The difference now 6 points. Still 1:30 to go.
This is the second time Hoff has tried some sort of big pinning combination that Katsaros has just thrown him off and gotten an escape.
Katsaros apparently took a shot to the chops and needs some injury time. Clock stopped at 1:19 to wrestle here in the third period. Justin Hoff, the #1 wrestler in the area at 130 pounds, according to the morning call. 16 wins, 3 losses. A senior. And his last outing, he beat Stroudsburg's Todd Yohe with a 4-2 decision. Mike Katsaros won his last one by a pin. That one coming against Pocono Mountain's Jeremy Reichs in 3 minutes, 58 seconds. Katsaros a bit of the underdog here with a record of 8-10, but he's holding his own out there. Still within 6 points with 1:19 to wrestle.
And I'm sure right now over in the Nazareth side, the coaches were reminding him, if you look at the score, it's 9-3. He's been trying for the pin, which is fine. And that's what we'd like to see. But right now, it's only 9-3. If he goes too much for the pin, he might not score enough points to get a major. They're telling him, let's get that takedown, maybe get another 1 or 2 takedowns out of this and make sure we get a major. Then we'll go for the pin.
And Hoff is going to do just that.
And right now he has the major, but if he rides him out, it's fine, he gets the major. But if he tries one of these big pinning combinations and he escapes, then he loses the major. Katsaros complaining about being slippery. I don't know what he meant himself or the other wrestler, but it's just something you have to deal with. Wrestlers get wet, they sweat.
Well, the 8-point difference is in effect right now, 11-3 in favor of Hoff. 35 seconds. Let's see if he'll try to ride it out.
Grind him down. He's got the arm way up high. See, again, tried that time. Tried that same combination a couple of times. He's given escape. This time he managed to hold him down. And we actually have a warning against Katsaros.
Katsaros needs an escape to avoid a major here. Out of bounds they go with 8 seconds remaining.
He's got to be careful. He's got to make sure he can just control him. That's what he wants to do. Whereas what Katsaros wants to do is some big explosive move, maybe a roll or quick stand-up, something explosive to try to get out.
5 seconds.
Hoff getting into a quick
Katsaros
chop.
Gets up.
Very close to locking hands there is what they were looking for.
Katsaros got up but could not get out. And the final score 11-3 in favor of Hoff. That boosts Nazareth's lead now to 10 points, 16-6. Or rather 17-6. That was a major decision. And here we go with about a 135.
£135. For Nazareth, Mark
Aber for Nazareth and Brian Doster for Northampton. And here we go with the bout at 135. Aber, number 3 in the area, according to the morning call, at 140. And here he is at 135. This is one of the switches that Ray Nunemaker has made, including bringing Hoff down to 130. Brian Doster also coming down for tonight's meet from 140 pounds. Doster, a freshman, 4 wins, 4 losses.
Although Nazareth has a fair lead right now, and certainly favored in this bout, still Northampton strength to the upper weight, so we're still coming to them.
Man,
Nazareth has some good boys up there too, but they're not probably quite as consistently good in those weights, and that's where we'll see. Northampton's going to have to pull them out there. And they were talking about juggling around in the next weight, whether Luciano will go here or possibly upper weight.
Well, that last shot by Aber was like out of a rifle shot. He is lightning fast. There he is. Like a knife. 1 minute to go in period 1. Still waiting for the first score of the bout. Doster holds his own as they go out of bounds. Back to the middle they come.
All right, maybe you can see here now, when he takes the shot, what Doster does, he actually comes up with his hands a little bit. He actually should be trying to get his hands on his shoulder to block him out or get his arm in between the two bodies. And why he's able to get all the way through Aber is because he actually reacts a little bit, almost like, ooh, here he comes, but his hands come up away from his opponent instead of down to try to prevent him from coming in. So he's able to get all the way through on it.
That time he did a pretty nice job of defending the shot.
Yeah, once he got in, he was able to do a pretty good job of keeping his balance. Trying the Doster nearly in on the cross knee tap.
Gave up a leg,
but Aber got the leg.
Final seconds, run off the clock at period 1, and it's scoreless. Five bouts completed, and all but one included bonus points. That's what kind of a night it's been here. Nazareth reaping the rewards for the most part, leading Northampton 17-6. Second period about to begin here at 135.
Aber working a crossface, trying to crossface cradle. He may have it locked up. He's very close. His hands are touching. I don't think he was able to quite lock him, but he's still got that leg way up there.
Good defensive work there by Doster.
And now Doster coming switching behind, but re-switched by Aber. Now taking the arm. Aber switching from move to move here. I'm not sure he really has a plan of which one he wants to try. He tries the arm, he tries power half, and he goes down to the leg, and now he's switching up to, he's trying to get it through the crotch.
Final minute of the second period, and we're still scoreless. Well, they're working on the shoelace of Brian Doster. Doster's last outing was against Pocono Mountain's Matt Fulmer. He won that one in a close decision, 3-2.
And he may rue the day that he had Coletta tie those shoes. Looked like he cut all the circulation off to his toes the way he did the first shoe.
Aber coming down hard on Doster.
Thinking about that cross-face cradle again. Cross-face, and it's got the upper leg.
25 seconds to go in the second period.
Now we're trying it on the other side.
Nothing else. Hebert is preventing Doster from scoring that point for the escape.
I'm sure he wants a little more than just a 1-0 win, but that's very important. Now working the cross body ride.
5 seconds. And he's got the job done of preventing any easy points to be scored by Doster. And now Hebert will have the choice, and Massey's going to pick down.
Yeah.
And he does indeed. Hebert had a heck of a week last week. He took on the #1 ranked wrestler in Kovacs of Freedom and beat him. He beat #4 Rutan of Easton. And then in Nazareth's last one against Stroudsburg, he lost an overtime decision to Mike Lapping, who is nowhere to be found in the area rankings.
And Hebert just right up. Doster made no real attempt.
First point of the match coming within the first 5 seconds of the final period. And he's in good here.
And on the right leg, but Doster does do a good job of sprawling there. He did, similar to where he was in that earlier position.
Stalemate brings him back to the middle with 1:31 to wrestle. Neutral position. Oh, Doster could sure use a takedown here, and he's going for it. It's time to throw a little caution to the wind. 1:23 to go.
Wow. Long low shot.
Hebert
used to call that sort of a Hoover shot, just like a vacuum cleaner across the rug, just sweeps everything up in its way.
Uh-oh. Hebert losing the arm when he went for the leg. Doster has a half in.
Right now he should be trying. I don't know if he can get his hand free, but the other leg was right there to take. He could have got his left leg free.
There it is. Oh. Well, he'll get it somewhere, and he does. With 47 seconds to go, Hebert leads 3-0. Take a look at how he completes this after it looked like a stalemate.
Well, that conk to the head didn't hurt. I mean, didn't hurt his cause.
No, that's for sure.
It hurt the other guy.
"30 seconds to wrestle."
And we're back to the cross-face cradle attempt here, pushing the head around.
The sophomore Hebert leads the freshman 3-0.
Only for stalling against Doster. Right now, cross-body ride taking the ankle. And at this point, he'll certainly take it if he turns over, but he just doesn't want him to escape and possibly get a reversal or whatever. And very close to that reversal at the end, although it would have only made it 3-2 anyway.
Mark Hebert pitches a shutout, 3-0 the final over Brian Doster. Nazareth now leading 20-6 against the #2 team in the country.
Now we'll see how the juggling goes. This is where Ron said he might be switching.
We've got a choice here. Luciano or Jeff Miller, I believe, are the options for Northampton.
Trying to hear behind. Wait for the announcer.
And it's going to be Miller for Northampton.
Jason Bucci.
And Bucci for Nazareth.
For Northampton, Jeff Miller.
Well, they just switched 140 and 145 from the way they set it up. This was to be the 145 match, so just switching it down to 140 at this point, which probably means I'll get Cody against Luciano, which is what I think which is the matchup I think Nazareth wanted.
Cody Luciano, that's one of the dream matchups. Number 1 and number 2 at 145 respectively. That's coming up next.
And depending on, I haven't seen much of these two wrestlers, so I can't say who might be favored. And right now, the Nazareth wrestler gets hit.
Bucci for Nazareth. He is a sophomore with a record of no wins and 1 loss in limited action this season. Miller, a junior, 1 win, no losses.
Well, that doesn't tell us much.
It's not a whole lot of varsity experience this season for either wrestler, and you can bet that they are enjoying being center stage here in front of a full house. Bucci.
Both wrestled JVs throughout the year for the most part. So.
Bucci looking to break the ice here.
Miller trying for the cement job.
And Bucci has 2 points.
In fact, I shouldn't say that this might necessarily be the matchup that Nazareth won. It could also be that Northampton feels that, depending on how Roney's counted the rest of the bouts out of here, score, he may have seen that he needs to win both. If he was to put Luciano against Bucci and Miller against Cody, it would be a clear split.
Right.
So depending on what he feels he had to do from here on out, even if both of his wrestlers were slight underdogs, you can try to win 2 minor upsets. That happens, that's not that difficult.
Injury timeout will be assessed to Jason Bucci. Apparently he got scratched near the eye area as they hope to stop the bleeding there. Getting back to the Lehigh situation today, wins by Steve Cassidy, we mentioned it, 150, where he's the number 5 ranked wrestler in the country among the collegiate Division I ranks. Rick Hepp, talk about closing in on 100 wins. He picked up number 98 today against Ryder. Brian Cipollone and Bill Clausen, also nationally ranked, picking up wins today as well. Good crowd over there?
Pretty good. Yeah, it was not quite like this one, but it was close to 2,000.
We talked about the record being 100 wins, that earned by Pete the Wizard of Yazzo.
And he was there today.
Hey, there's Mike Zambelli, who's here tonight helping us out with our communications. Good to have Mike on board here, and he's enjoying this wrestling action. Yazzo, one of 18 NCAA champions to wrestle at Lehigh. What an impressive slate of fine performers they've had throughout the years. 11 of those wrestlers on hand to be honored tonight at a special banquet. They included Ben Bishop, Harold Nauseam, Ed Hammer, Bill Stewart, Tom Scully, Mike and Mark Lieberman, Mike Frick, Pete Yazzo himself, Ed Eichelberger, and Joe Grotto.
And I don't think Yazzo was there trying to prevent Hepp from winning his 100th match. So.
Just trying to cheer him on a little bit.
Yeah, actually, in regards to the national champs, and we've talked about that with some of the high schools, we have been very fortunate that way. We are actually the 5th. We have the 5th largest total of individual national titles. The total, it's 18 wrestlers having earned 24 national titles, and we're 5th in that, only behind the 2 Iowa State and Oklahoma State. We're ahead of everyone else in the country, and that's
very impressive. Well, the action resumes. Bucci's wound has been sealed, and he takes the 2-0 lead here at the into the final seconds of period 1. If you're just joining us, Nazareth leads Northampton 20-6. And Northampton 6 points, all coming on a Liberto pin at 112. They haven't won a bout since, and trail this one at 140 pounds by a score of 2-0. Both wrestlers not really too eager to get back into the fray. Bucci will take the down position. Jeff Miller will take the up position. 2 late add-ons here. You may not have read much about these wrestlers. Oh, my.
Bucci right out in on the shot. Miller trying the cement job again.
Uh-oh.
But with his leg out to the side, it's hard to get the elevator part of it working.
Bucci gets the takedown and stop the action as the headgear comes loose.
Both times that Miller had the shot and, excuse me, that Bucci had the shot, Miller was trying the cement job. His foot was outside, and usually from that position you want to get your foot under the chest and try to elevate. And he wasn't. Bucci was able to avoid that position.
1 minute 30 seconds to wrestle in period 2. Bucci leading Northampton's Miller 5-0. Warning for stalling against Northampton's Miller. Big one coming up here, 145. Chris Luciano, number 2 in the area at 140. Taking on Dave Cody, number 1 in the area at 140. He'll be wrestling at 145. I don't know, you figure it out.
And Bucci just hit for stalling there. 1 point for Miller. He was watched only, he was riding parallel, not really trying any pinning combinations.
Bucci goes back to work on top with a minute to go in period 2.
Bucci flattening Miller out, working cross faces, again also trying that cross face cradle, not chopping. He's riding him very strong, but now it's his turn. I guess we're gonna, one good turn deserves another, I guess, so to speak.
Miller loses the point due to stalling. 6-1 now in favor of Nazareth's Bucci.
And what may be going through Watson's mind here, a lot of times some referees will give double stalling in a situation like that. The man on top isn't really trying any pinning combinations, but the guy in the bottom wasn't really trying anything either. Some guys will give a double stall, but I'm not sure that does anything. This way, in a sense, it seems weird, but you get them both mad this way.
You send a message, for sure.
You're doing this wrong now. A couple seconds later, I'm going to hit the other guy for doing the other thing wrong.
Wash, you could hear telling Miller that you're still down. You didn't quite get out of that grab. And as a result, starts the next series on the bottom. 10 seconds to go in period 2. Six to 1 in favor of Bucci, and that's how we'll start period 3. This is the 6th of 13 bouts, and you certainly have to notice a look of concern on the faces of the coaches on the Concrete Kids side of the gym. Injury time now running for Miller, who's holding his head. Not exactly sure whereabout he got conked or when he got conked, but he's feeling the effects of it right now.
So the coach slaps him on the head just to make sure.
I guess if you hear a rattle, everything's okay. You can send him back out to work. Injury time running against Northampton.
Like I say, they took x-rays of his head and didn't find anything. The old joke.
And there's the score. Nazareth really doing well in the underweights, all for about a 112, which went to Denny Liberto, who pinned his man in 4 minutes 59 seconds. Bethlehem's finest, John LaMotta, on duty here at Bethlehem's Memorial Gym. And a little while ago, you got to look at our fine technical crew that's working the gym here today. There's our 2-point takedown. Bucci scores. Miller thinks he might be bleeding from the nose, but that's not the case. Eight to 1 in favor of Bucci, who might come up with a major if he keeps going to work here. 140 to wrestle.
Question is, how's he going to try it? He himself's going to try to turn him or at least make him look bad on top and try to get another stalling point out of it, possibly. Would be another way to get it. All he needs is 1 point, and there it is. $120 to go.
And there is the 8-point lead, but look out. Miller now on the attack.
Right back to a body press. Couple of points.
2 back points earned by Pucci as he held Miller in place just long enough. Now to score 11-1. Bench post.
Now, if we get another warning against the Northampton wrestler, another stalling call against Northampton, it'll be 2 points.
Let's take a look. You see Miller almost getting out of there and then gets himself in trouble.
You can see that Bucci was able to hold on to the right arm of Miller just long enough to slow him down so he could spin around to the side and then throw the half in. And
Pucci working Miller hard from the top position. 40 seconds to go. Injury time will start for Miller.
I'm not sure who he called.
Miller may be suffering from cramps. We're not exactly sure what he had to do to make weight. Let's take a look. Some of the tough crossface action here. Oof.
Well, if you don't like it from this side, I'm going to get you on the other.
Now you get an idea why Miller needs a bit of a breather here, as he was getting mauled down low by Bucci. 37 seconds remaining as the injury clock runs for Miller, and we're already into our 2nd minute of injury time. Our cameramen this evening, Joe Wolokovitz, Jim Grell, and Matt Wolf. Jim Spiderweb, our production assistant. There's sports director Mike Zambelli taking in the action.
Do you think he knew he was on?
Our director tonight is Bill Kuhar. And also in the truck on slow motion instant replay, we have Dennis Long. On audio, we have Andy Himmelwright. Engineer in charge, Scott Richardson. Tim Himmelwright on audio.
Miller trying a cement job, giving up another couple points. Now we're getting close to where one more, a 3-point near fall would end the bout in a technical.
15 seconds to go. Out of bounds they go. I'd be remiss if I did not mention the man at Master Control, Dan Himmelwright, and our stats guy, Billy Bino Bickle.
Let's see if Watt's tight now.
Not nearly as tight, huh?
I'll have to say something to him about that.
10 seconds. Pucci has his major. And looks like that's how it'll end. 13-1 in favor of Nazareth Pucci.
Pucci wins 13-1.
And that's a big one. I don't know if the coaches knew the relative strengths of the 2 wrestlers coming in or not.
And that brings the team scoring up for Nazareth. They now lead by 18 points, 24-6.
And with 6 bouts left, you're at a point. You're at a point where you pretty much need to win them all, or get a lot of bonus points and lose one of them.
And now the one we've been waiting for, number 1 against number 2, Dave Cody in blue for Nazareth, the number 1 ranked wrestler in this weight, or I should say 140. And look at Luciano taking no prisoners here. He's number 2 at 140.
And he's just going to push that leg up higher and higher if he can and try to get him to go the other way. He got him.
Take down Luciano.
Cody was district champ last year, 4th in the regions. As you said, he's 1st in both polls. Luciano's actually 1st in the Express, but up at 45. Luciano pretty much considered the top freshman in the area, I would say. Cody coming back around. He can get a reversal from here. You don't have to be on the mat to get a reversal. But right now we have to wait and finish this out. Luciano still has enough control. That's why you don't call it too soon.
Luciano looks to be in pretty good position here. And Northampton needs some heroics from him. He's coming through so far, leading Cody 2-0. I was a little off base a little earlier. These wrestlers are ranked at 145. However, they did weigh in at 140. Here they are wrestling at their natural 145.
Luciano chops Cody down, riding with strong tight ways.
A couple of things being accomplished here. He's preventing Cody from scoring. Well, now he lets him up for a point. But he's also wearing Cody out a little bit with a hard ride. But Cody does get away. Now we have about 10 seconds to go in period 1.
And a lot of time that fact, what you were just saying about wearing him down, is overlooked by a lot of wrestlers. Just say, yeah, let's let him go now. Ride him for a few seconds. Tire him out a little bit. You let him go. He's breathing hard. Go right after him right then.
Absolutely. Saw some of the Nazareth faithful. Each side of this magnificent gym is filled with fans. Northampton fans bringing their own thumbs up sign.
Well, it depends on them. That's a matter of perspective, I think.
Well, yeah, they haven't had a whole lot of chance to point the thumbs up tonight. Two to 1 in favor of Luciano of Northampton. Cody has his left hand fairly heavily taped.
Cody has both of Luciano's hands tied up right now.
Out of bounds with 1:08 to go in period 2. Northampton's Luciano leading Cody 2 to 1. Look at Cody getting his game face on. Oh, bad collision there. Cody's head to Luciano's chin. Let's take a look.
See, Cody drops down, and then Luciano follows him right on top of him there. Boom. And then he comes over top of his head.
So it was actually the exit move from Cody that did the damage. They've got the choppers slapped together there as they look at Luciano's mouth, try to dab up whatever blood is in there. Injury time running on Luciano. Doesn't hardly seem fair. The other wrestler does an injures you, and the time is assessed to you as you hope to get better to wrestle. But that's the case in this tough sport of wrestling.
Them's the rules. The only time it would be otherwise is if they felt it was intentional. And in this case, he actually brought, as you mentioned, it was the exit move. He actually brought his chin across the head himself. So. They give him a little water there to wash it out. One thing they don't want to give him is tomato juice or something.
1 minute to go in period 2. Luciano ahead 2 to 1. And the other big key that we brought out in several meets this year is when the injury time is on you, you don't get the benefits of talking to your coach about strategy.
That's right.
While the other wrestler does.
And in fact, it can be a penalty point against your team if an official thinks you're talking about anything other than the injury. You're not even really allowed to tell him how much time's left, what the score is.
30 seconds. Stalemate.
And that rule is, as much as anything, designed. Obviously, there are situations where wrestlers take timeouts where it's not a true injury. Maybe he's just lost his composure a little bit. He's he's tired or whatever. Well, I mean, it should only be for the injury. He shouldn't be able to gain too much of an advantage out of it.
Right.
Referees not being doctors, they can't tell whether it's a real injury or not, and they have to kind of go with it. But don't let him get any coaching there.
Dave Cody with the choice here, takes the down position in hopes of tying this one up with a quick escape. And this one will be assessed to the referee. Coletta says, my fault, they'll restart.
Last year, Cody beat Keglovitz, who is probably the next Northampton wrestler coming up. He beat him in this duel 7-4, as you see the escape there.
We're tied at 2. Cody getting away from the clutches of Luciano.
And looking back at some of the warning for stalling on both wrestlers there.
Cody in blue comes in with a record of 18 wins, only 1 loss. Luciano's record, 16 wins, only 2 losses.
Luciano working behind, trying to get that takedown, but doesn't feel that's control yet. Bob, now Cody reaching back, stepping in. Now they're going to talk about it a little bit. He gave the takedown.
2 for Luciano.
Apparently Wass felt strongly about it. I think Coletta was probably thinking one way or...
Let's take a look at this.
Well, it would have. I believe what they're. I believe where he was given a takedown was earlier than that when he had him down on his knees the first time before Cody made that attempt.
Well, the escape makes it 4-3 in favor of Luciano. Cody earning the point there. Out of bounds they go. Interest of point of note here. Cody is a senior, ranked number 1 in the area. Luciano only a freshman and ranked number 2.
And just in terms of comparative scores against Walsh Jesuit, Luciano won in a tiebreaker by ride-out. In other words, the score was tied, but he won the 32nd. He stayed on top, whereas Cody won by fall.
Luciano really tying up Cody hard there, but potentially dangerous play on the knee of Cody brings him back to the middle. 31 seconds to wrestle. It's a 1-point bout in favor of Northampton's Luciano. Northampton trailing in the team scoring 24-6 as we entered the bout here at 145.
Here's where Luciano's got to play it smart. Typically with a few seconds to go, referees are looking to call the guy who's ahead for stalling.
Ooh, Luciano in a great deal of pain.
So Luciano has to watch himself. He doesn't want to make a move where he gets off the edge too easily, but takes the first few steps back, because they've both been warned. And one call will tie it up.
Luciano, and as I said, really hurting over there. 16 seconds remaining in the third. Let's see if we can pick up where the injury may have occurred. Oh, that's a split. Yeah. That's got to hurt. And there's the flood of pain that follows.
Pulled the muscle there.
One minute.
And it looks like Luciano's going to get ready for battle once again. Amazing. 16 seconds to go. He leads by 1. 4-3. Well, let's see if Cody can do anything here. Luciano looks all right as he walks to the middle.
Luciano trying to throw.
10 seconds.
Very happy to stay where he is.
Clock stops at 7 as they go out of bounds.
And again, you can see Rome telling him to stay in the center.
4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Chris, Luciano has done it.
The winner by 4-3 decision, Christian Luciano. Take that.
24-9 now as Northampton puts 3 team points on the board after a gutsy win by Luciano.
152 pounds for Nazareth, Travis Dodo.
And here we go.
Mike.
And it will be Travis Dodo and Mike Keglovitz. 152 is the weight class. Dodo is the second-ranked wrestler at this weight in the morning call. Keglovitz number 5.
Dodo second in the districts, third in the regions. Keglovitz third in the districts last year. Last year's regular season duel, Dodo lost to Gumlock 6-5, and again Keglovitz lost to Cody, who just wrestled 7-4. That was last year in the regular season duel.
Out of bounds they go.
Cement mixer there.
Gene Wass, a little wary of the abuse that Travis Dodo's shoulder was taken, brings him back to the middle.
Definitely dissimilar body types in this one. Dodo, short, compact. Keglovitz looks more like a basketball player. He's very tall, lanky.
.105 to wrestle in period 1 in this bout at 152. 4 bouts remaining after this one, and Northampton needs bonus points in a hurry. The score, Nazareth 24, Northampton 9.
But if they win them all, no bonus points, it's a tie. Although with the 7 wins, that would give them the tiebreaker again, so. But Nazareth is favored in a couple of bouts, including this one.
Dodo now in a pretty good position. Keeps the pressure on. And picks up 2 points on the takedown.
Dodo just very steadily kept working behind, a little closer, a little closer.
Keglovitz puts Dodo on his head. And the clock is stopped at 8 seconds to wrestle in period 1. Dodo stopping Keglovitz as he tried to get to his feet. And Dodo will take a 2-0 lead into period 2. There's Ray Nunemaker instructing Travis Dodo, a senior, with 17 wins and only 1 loss. Keglovitz's record, 13 wins, 5 losses. Both of these wrestlers are seniors.
Dodo working for hand control. Keglovitz working half. And the cross body ride. Now trying the power half, trying to pull Dodo onto his back. Very nearly has him there. But Dodo able to roll through and get out of major danger. Right now Keglovitz working the chin of Dodo. Dodo got a good chance to come out the back door here. Keglovitz getting high.
And that's what Dodo is apparently doing.
Dodo slowly trying to get his hips behind and out. Well, we got a stalemate call.
1:21 to wrestle in the second period. A tenuous 2-0 lead by Dodo.
Dodo taking the risk, turning in, getting the escape.
3-0 in favor of Dodo.
Dodo doing a little bit of an arm drag, head pop, trying to spin behind. Keglovit's so long, it's hard to turn him. You can turn one part of his body, and the other part stays where it is.
Stalemate.
Keglovit's not sure if they were neutral.
Out of bounds. 46 seconds to go here in period 2.
Well, that's quick, but you say before the first tee and tweet, that's not legal. A little caution against Dodo.
Half a minute to go here in period 2.
Wasp's doing a good job of getting them moving here. He doesn't, calling some pretty quick stalemate situations. Sees they're not going to go anywhere. So he's not going to let it take 10, 20 seconds. So if he thinks it's done, he's going to call it right away. Now Dodo working behind. Keglovit's got that long arm, can reach all the way through there and block him off. If Dodo can straighten that out, pop the hand off the leg. There it is.
And he gets 2 with about 4 seconds left. And Dodo improves his lead to 5-0 as we head into the third period. Neutral position is the choice.
Again, Dodo just working for the spin behind. He's got the leg, and again, Keglovitz has that long arm in there, but Dodo a little more powerful, better position, able to convert it.
7-0 now in favor of Dodo.
And any bonus points here would make it virtually impossible.
Ted Meitzel, the wrestling guru for the morning call, joining us. Actually, a long press row here at Matt's side. Dodo lets the opponent up. Keglovitz scores his first point of the match. 1:22 to wrestle. Out of bounds they go. 1:15 to go on the clock.
Tying up the arm. You may see another one of those arm drags off the right arm of Keglovitz, pop the head out and come around. But again, Wasp with the stalemate, not wanting to waste any effort in there.
You get a good look at the physique of Dodo, some impressive upper body strength, and that really, I think, has been one of the differences here. He's just not allowing Keglovitz to do a whole lot. Some good counters, as we see one here.
This time, Dodo switched sides. Able to get the takedown.
Impressively quick for a big guy. Nine to 1. There's your major difference of 8 points in favor of Nazareth's Dodo. Now he's going to try to get some back points. 10 seconds to wrestle. And out of bounds they go with 3 seconds to go in the bout. Yeah, full crowd, both sides packed here at Liberty's Memorial Gym. Got to look there at the Nazareth side with a cancel a K-Kid victory banner right in front. Tekovich gave it his all to try to get at least 1 point for this game to prevent the major. But Dodo has just enough for the major. 9-1 the final score.
Well, it makes it simple. They have to win them all. And they have to get quite a few bonus points along the way.
171. We should see Rob Rowan for Nazareth against Jason Davis for Northampton.
Have to get at least 3 pins.
And it's going to be Ryan Gumlock will come out. This is 160. And Sean McIntyre for Nazareth. I'm jumping the gun here to 170. This is the bout at 160. Gumlock versus McIntyre.
Gumlock, district and region champ, 3rd in the states. First rated in morning call, 2nd in the express. McIntyre 6th in the districts, an honorable mention in the morning call. These ratings were at 71 for both of these wrestlers. Gumlock, another one of the 100 win wrestlers for Northampton, the second one to come up so far.
And you can see why there. Tough shot, and he scores with it. 2-0. He lets up McIntyre to make it 2-1. Gumlock's wrestled most of the season at 171. And here he is at 160.
Gumlock in on a high crotch. Easy conversion.
Both wrestlers actually coming down to 160 from 171.
And with this one being a match favored by Northampton, this is one they really need to pin. And there we go in on the, in this case, on the outside single. That was the first takedown, I believe.
4-1 in favor of Gumlock as we come down to about a minute to go in period 1. Nice spin out by McIntyre to free himself. Sets the numbers at 4-2.
Gumlock in on that outside leg again, coming behind. Now he's really got to think back points here. I'm sure he is, but that's what he really needs. The takedowns aren't likely to do it here, if they have any hopes of winning the team title.
McIntyre fends him off. Out of bounds they go. 6-2 in favor of Gumlock. 33 seconds to go in the first period. Man, he is lightning fast and very strong. .30 seconds to wrestle. McIntyre frees himself, and it's 6-3.
Going in again on that same leg.
It's got to be tough in this situation for McIntyre to avoid getting a stalling warning. I mean, basically, he's just trying to prevent Gumlock from putting him away, and has very little choice but to move backwards as Gumlock continues. The bull rushes at him.
Well, if he can keep it to a major, that'll make it such that the best you can do is get the score tied. Team score tied. We got the takedown. Looks good. Yep.
Wow. Right before the buzzer, Gumlock scores 2, and that puts us at 8-3 after 1 period of play. See, he started to look to back points, but time runs out.
Now there, McIntyre was doing something he probably shouldn't have been doing. He was keeping the arm around as if he was going to throw him off, and Gumlock could trap it.
Gumlock from the down position squirts out of there in a hurry. 9-3 in his favor. Back to the middle they go. Gumlock in on a single.
And again on that right leg. Very much the same position. Although this time he doesn't have the upper bodies tied up. And McIntyre really working towards the edge. And that could be 2 points there. Well, what Bob was pointing at, even though Gumlock's feet were actually in bounds, the Nazareth wrestler, they are allowed to say that they're off the mat. And here comes the stalling call against McIntyre. Officials are allowed that if one wrestler is completely off the mat on the wood floor, they can call it out of bounds, and I think that's what he was pointing at there.
McIntyre looking to connect on a throw there to counter the offense of Gumlock. Back to the middle they go. There you see it.
And he's taking him down with that same shot, but he's not really coming close to turning him over. Now he's working the arm bar here. This is...
Gumlock has
got his head.
Gumlock has an 8-point lead. They're saying a little too much stress on that shoulder. Gumlock had McIntyre's left shoulder pretty well extended.
Well, nobody on this side of the gym thought so. Said he's all right. And again, we're going into that situation. He's going to block the head with his left leg and then try to, by grabbing that arm and barring it, trying to push him over his knee.
And the fans taking exception with the stoppage of the action. 43 seconds to go. McIntyre up and out, and now trailing 11-4.
And a point for Stalin.
Lead back up to 8 for Gumlock, is in for another takedown.
Well, we got a shot at attack. You really, in a match where you're favored here, you really want to go for the pin, if you need the pins, which is what he does here.
Escape by McIntyre. Gumlock goes right back in, out of bounds. They go. 11 seconds to go in period 2.
And the other option besides the pin is a disqualification for Stalin, but with only 2 calls having been made, it's doubtful that they'd hit him for 3 in the last period. It's possible, but
3 seconds to go. Gumlock leading McIntyre 14-5, and we will be back for the remainder of this bout right after this on TV2 Sports.
Pros wear Russell Athletic because it's made tough. It has to be.
Hey, kid! Hey, you got my lucky jersey.
Yeah?
Can I have it back?
You gotta be kidding.
You little pipsqueak.
No!
You want athletic wear that can survive anything? Get Russell Athletic. Get tough.
Bethlehem Sporting Goods, your Russell Athletic store in the Lehigh Valley.
Now you can advertise on television for less than the cost of the newspaper, radio, or direct mail. Service Electric Cable TV announces the all-new TV Classifieds channel. Buy, sell, trade almost anything. Make a TV wish, a congratulations or birthday with a picture. Selling a car? Your car on TV in color. Small or large businesses, TV Classifieds is effective, gets results inexpensively. Tune to Dial 27 for complete details or call 434-7833 for more information. Get on TV Classifieds.
Back to the action as we start the third period on center mat at 160. And it's Gumlock leading McIntyre 14-6.
And they scripted a minor injury timeout there just for us, so didn't miss a thing.
Not one moment of action. Brian Gumlock of Northampton on the move here. He has an 8-point lead and wants to pick up some bonus points desperately needed by his team. Team scoring looks like this. Nazareth leading Northampton 28-9. Earlier tonight, Dave Amelie putting in a very courageous effort on the mat with a completely blown out knee at 125. But he was unable to hold off his opponent, Brian Tashner, losing 8-3.
Actually, I got to admit, I wasn't doing my I forgot to carry the 9 down. I forgot they switched the order there, and I was looking at the 6 from the 6 points from the 140-pound bout. So you're right. Actually, they don't have to have as many pins as I thought at this point.
But still a fairly
they still need 20 points.
Fairly desperate situation for the Concrete Kids. #1 ranked in the state of Pennsylvania. Of course, Nazareth coming in as a #3 team. Never an opponent to be taken lightly. McIntyre escapes for a point. That cuts the lead to 9.
I don't change from my original thinking that this should be a pin attempt here, because you need to get him where you can.
Well, 34 seconds to go. McIntyre still holding his own. I think it's definitely time to look for a pin if you're a Northampton fan.
Because the point is that Northampton is still not the favorite at the next match. Rob Roan being, assuming it will be Roan against Davis, that is a slight favorite in favor of the Nazareth wrestler.
Out of bounds they go. 16 seconds to wrestle in this third period. 18-7 in favor of Gumlock. Gumlock gets the takedown as time runs out. 20-8, the final score. Fans on their feet on both sides. Gumlock for the major and McIntyre for avoiding the pin. We are all listening attentively to find out what the next matchup brings, and I believe it will be, as Jim noticed or mentioned, Rob Roan for Nazareth against Jason Davis for Northampton.
I don't think there was really much else they could have done here. Northampton's pretty well locked into their last 3, and although in theory I suppose Roan could go up, wouldn't make much sense to go up against Fenstermacher, so there wouldn't be any point in juggling here.
28-12, the team scoring in favor of Nazareth. This Blue Eagles squad came in ready for business, and they have not disappointed tonight. Rob Roan for Nazareth, a sophomore, 17 wins, 4 losses. #3 in the morning call rankings at 160. Davis with an impressive record, 15-6 as a junior at 160.
Well, Davis working, getting the first takedown. Roan, when I say he was over the line, I couldn't quite tell from here before he got the escape. Davis was 2nd in districts, 4th in the regions last year. And he's going to let him go.
And I believe Jason is the son of the head football coach at Northampton as well.
Davis going in on the initial shot, but Roan taking a charge back at him.
1:10 to go.
Oh, nice low shot, just picking up that ankle there by Roan. Now he's got to try to keep him on the mat. That's going to be the big key there. If he can get that other right leg, that's what he did. Now, I think Martz wants him up there. He want to get his head out a little bit more.
Completely stretched out to get the job done.
Just like a wide receiver. Keep those toes in.
Rob Roan showing us some stuff here to take the lead, 3-2. His first lead of the bout, 45 seconds to wrestle in period 1. Davis is out to tie it at 3.
Roan going in. Just doing a high crotch, getting to the knee, getting the far leg again. Try to work against the Wizards. He's got him down on his hip. That should be good enough for a takedown.
Take a look at the previous takedown.
And you can see right there, when he got that second leg, now Watts starts checking out, looks up to see where the head is. Once he got his, in this case, I think what he was looking at was once he got his feet up in the air, it took any power away from any move Davis might have had.
And here's Davis.
Davis coming back around himself. If he can hook the leg in there, there it is.
Davis coming back to keep it a 1-point bout as time will run out in period 1. 6-5 in favor of the Nazareth wrestler, Rob Roan. And there was Don Roan, the head coach of Northampton. Ray Nunemaker, 32 years of excellence at Nazareth. Rowan escapes easily as Davis lets him go. We're tied at 6. Davis showing some good upper body strength. Out of bounds goes Rowan, and back to the middle go the wrestlers. One minute, 30 seconds to go in period 2. We're at 171, and the team score favors Nazareth 28-13.
And the bouts from the elite duels, just to try to find some comparison, were very even. Both lost to the wrestler from Walsh Jesuit by fall, Overholt, who was probably the best wrestler on their team. Won by fall both times. And against Cannon McMillan, Roan won 12-6, and Davis won 15-6. Davis spins behind again. So not much to pick from by the elite duels.
Davis shrugged off the headlock attempt there by Roan and goes in for a takedown. And now leads this bout 8-6.
Lets him go, but Roan almost catches him off guard there.
Davis by a point. 44 seconds to go here in period 2.
Now, a regular decision is not good enough. So I've got it right this time, but that would make it 28-16, a regular decision even there in Northampton. Put him down 12 points, and barring some sort of team point deduction, that would tie it up, and they'd be down 7-6 in bouts.
It's a good point. A lot riding on this one for Northampton.
Although there's not much you can say to Davis where to expect to get bonus points against a wrestler who's actually favored. It's not. He's just going to have to do what he can do, and he's really trying for the individual win here for pride. And
last time on the mat, it was Roan pinning Stroudsburg's John Nicholson in 1 minute 7 seconds. Final seconds ticking off the clock here in period 2. And time runs out here on period 2. It's Davis 8 and Roan 7 as we head into the final period.
Davis taking the bottom position here.
There you
I'm
see
not
the
sure what's going on. He's pulling him away. I don't know, he's sick.
Well, let's see if...
Tried to get him off the mat pretty quickly, so...
I believe Roan had to put on some pounds here to wrestle at 171. He had been at 160, and that's where he's ranked number 3 in the morning call. Davis also adding some weight, and that may be a result of some extra water intake. Well, the trainers working hard on Roan.
I'm not sure. Looks like Colombo's fanning his own feet rather than the wrestler over there. And Mizaki standing up on a chair trying to get everybody else to stand up. And they're starting to do it.
1 minute expired on.
No, that's what they needed, a little inspiration here. And a situation like what we just saw down there, if Roan's feeling it right now, that's something Davis might be able to do something about. Although Roan, he came out hard just now.
Man, I'll say. Roan might be feeling a whole lot better. Hard to tell, but he looked pretty energetic on that first move.
And he's trying to grind him down a little bit, get that elbow in the head.
.139 to go in the bout. Davis with a 1-point lead.
Looked like Roan was trying to hang Davis there on that one.
1:30 to wrestle.
Warning against Roan. Just stayed in the same position. I don't think he's going to go going freestyle start here. And he will let him up.
9-7 now. In favor of Jason Davis of Northampton. As Gibbs said, a straight decision. This won't be enough for Northampton to have a viable chance of winning this meet against Nazareth. .44 seconds to wrestle. Roan a little slow in getting up. Shoots for an ankle and doesn't get it.
And came close to beating the whistle on that. Now we got a warning against Davis.
33 seconds to wrestle. Davis gets in.
Davis in on the double. Roan trying to cement out himself. Davis nearly had him stacked up and stuck.
He's got
20 seconds. He could still turn him again. He's got the shoulders exposed. Roan gets off his back, but it's only 14-7. That's not a major decision. Davis needs another point.
5 seconds.
Now, if there's a warning for stalling on the bottom, that would do it, but no call. There's no call there.
14-7.
Just a regular decision.
And let's do a final accounting before we declare Nazareth the winner of the meet. Is that absolute now?
Well, we got wins by Liberto, Luciano, Keglovitz, and Davis. That's 4. They can only get 2 more. So that's 6.
189 pounds.
There it is.
And very close there. He did have that left shoulder up a little bit, but he gave it what he had.
And here we go at 189. Musselman versus Fenstermacher. Zach Musselman for Nazareth, a senior, 7 wins, 4 losses. And he's going against Craig Fenstermacher, ranked number 2 in the morning call poll at 189.
Fenstermacher was district champ, regional runner-up. And I believe he has 97 wins, so he's I'd give him 98, so probably some point next week got a good chance of hitting his 100th win.
What a gutsy performance.
I mean, if he can win this one, I'm not trying to predict this, but
Fenstermacher in on a single, and he converts it for a takedown. First points of the bout. 1 minute to wrestle here in the first period. I was just about to say, what a gutty performance by Rob Roan. Physically sick in that second period, managing to hang in there, not to lose big to Jason Davis, and apparently give Nazareth the victory in the meet.
Fenstermacher in on the leg, switching to a double.
Four to 1 now in favor of Northampton's Fenstermacher. .38 seconds to go in period 1.
.189-pound class in the area, one of the better weights. Fenstermacher had been undefeated up until about a week ago. Lost to DeFrancisco from Phillipsburg, but Phillipsburg, he lost the Deerf wrestler, who Fenstermacher, I believe, has beaten. So I'm not sure how they would. The next area ratings coming up, because those Phillipsburg wrestler losing to Flamish of Deerf was after the ratings.
Big John Flamish.
And actually, Phillipsburg wrestler also losing by slam against a wrestler he was defeating rather easily. So
5 seconds to wrestle here in period 1.
So Fenstermacher might move back up on top.
Well, he's on top of this bout, leading 6-2 for Zach Musselman of Nazareth. Musselman, one of those unexpected additions to the lineup tonight. Ray Nunemaker with a choice at 189 to go with either Musselman or Jarrett Hoff.
Fenstermacher with stand-up turn-in.
Fenstermacher gets around and picks up the takedown. Nine to 2 in favor of Fenstermacher. 1:30 to wrestle. Musselman came back to nip at Fenstermacher after he got away on the escape.
And that's something a lot of wrestlers forget about. Figure they're letting him go, and the other guy realizes it, turns and shoots before he has a chance. So you got to be careful when you let him go. Don't just turn your back.
Fenstermacher with the reach, picks up the leg that was down, and down goes Musselman. 11-3 now in favor of Craig Fenstermacher of Northampton. Musselman in the down position with 41 seconds to go in the second period.
And Fenstermacher just right in on the one leg, picking up the other. Fairly workmanlike.
Yeah, he made that one look pretty easy.
Now pulling for the tilt.
And he did not get the angle he needed against Musselman. 5 seconds to go in period 2. Fenstermacher leading Musselman 13-4. And Musselman will take the down position to start the third period.
Fenstermacher working on the underhook. Trying to get a reaction, trying to get him to move around a little bit. And maybe something will open up. Trying for a cradle. That's just with the ankle. Oh, the first white airplane just went by us here. They've all been those orange placards so far.
Must have been a MiG. Stalemate eventually called after some hand fighting down low, and now timeout is called by Musselman. And looks like he may need the bucket.
Well, rushing that bucket up.
Fenstermacher, a senior, 16 wins, only one loss. And number 2 in the morning call standings at 189. Last outing, he won a bout at heavyweight against Pocono Mountain's Ed Silva, pinning Silva in the first period.
I don't think Ronan's too happy about the last couple of bouts where they've taken the timeouts and not really. He feels that it's not really a legitimate injury, I think is what he's trying to tell the ref.
.10 to go in period 3. And there's an escape by Musselman.
And this would be one where Fenstermacher really kind of stayed on top the whole time. And a warning against Musselman.
Fensty now with 15 points on the board, 15-5.
Now he was looking up the clock there for a second. And another stall call and a point. Whoops.
Out of bounds, the clock stops with 16 seconds remaining.
Fenstermacher coming out front, trying to work something from there.
Fenstermacher will win it, 16-5.
And you hear more of the cheers from the side of the losing team. So now 16-6. He did give a point right at the buzzer there. And I don't know if we can see what happened right there. Cheerleaders stood up in our way.
Well, here we go with the heavyweights. This is one that folks have been waiting for. The Nazareth fans have caught on that the meet has been decided. Finally, for Nazareth, Umstead for Northampton. Finally, a junior, 8 wins, 4 losses. Number 3 in the morning call poll at heavyweight. Umstead, a junior, 18 wins, only 1 loss to Northampton.
Umstead's letting this get to his head here a little too much. He's getting a little cocky. He's kind of laughing at him.
Mike Sewell of the morning call said that if Umstead had wrestled at 189 through the season, he would be the number 1 ranked wrestler in that weight class. But talk about flexibility. Here's a guy who can weigh in at 189 and still wrestle heavyweight like he's doing tonight. Finally, not to be taken lightly. No pun intended. He won his last bout against Stroudsburg's Sean Kramer. A 7-3 decision.
And then the bouts with Walsh Jesuit finally lost to their heavyweight Nook, 10-6. Umstead beat him 8-5 in the duel, but then lost to him, I think, by a major decision, by a wide score in the Ironman tournament. So Umstead having split with the heavyweight from Walsh, finally just having lost.
Finally gets an ankle.
Switching to a double, and he's going to should get this takedown. Oh, but there it is.
What a bulldozer. And the injury clock starts for Umstead.
And that's just what the fans wanted to see after a little display earlier by Umstead getting taken down.
You could call it taunting.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, we just hope Umstead is okay.
See the Blue Eagle coming over to make sure he's okay.
They're working on Umstead's left knee. That's not too good.
30 seconds.
Not exactly sure how he injured it. Apparently near the edge of the mat is finally continued to charge forward.
Well, as he had the one leg went to the other, Umstead twisted one side to the other. It's very possible that the foot may have, Clinley may have had the one foot planted in one particular position, and then as Umstead trying to turn, it could have gone against it.
Umstead back up.
56 seconds on the injury, 56.
Umstead already with one knee protected. Has the other one injured and bounces back after 56 seconds of injury time. And now he's got to deal with the weight of Clinley, somewhere below 275 pounds.
Now Umstead trying to come around for a cement job, but Clinley just locking him up. Got him in a little bit of trouble here. Umstead doing a very good job of staying out of it, though. He was in better shape than it looked. Finally managed to just barely maintain control the whole way through that. Just enough upper body, then he dropped down to the leg fast enough so that Walsh wouldn't call the escape.
And he held on to Umstead just long enough to keep control. Umstead will have to start again from the bottom. Finally using a lot of energy there. Let's see if it has any effect on it with 7 seconds to go in the first. Time runs out, finally leading Umstead 2-0 after 1 period.
You can see Umstead holding on to his knee a little bit.
A good point brought up by Bill Bickle. It's not too many sports which you see the outcome decided in the team scoring, and nobody has left the building.
Right, that's right. I just seen a few people just now, but it's still pretty packed here. Now Umstead coming around front. He loves the cement job positions, or any of the working off the front head and arm. He's got that leg. He does have. It might not look like it, but he does have the left foot there underneath. So it's going to be hard for Kleinle to get out of position.
Kleinle will mosey on back. Pretty impressive performance by both young men. Umstead giving away untold pounds and giving Kleinle a run for the money.
And again, this is pretty much where Umstead likes to be, is out front. But that's not where he likes to be.
As he popped up, he felt a twinge in that left knee. It continues to hamper him. The injury clock has started.
I believe he used almost a minute the first time. I think it was 56 seconds.
Well, the clock is stopped with 1:18 to wrestle in the second period. Nazareth Kleinle leading Umstead 3-0.
30 seconds.
Now this, if anything, adds more interest to the district duels that'll be coming up February 11th when the top 4 teams in this area in 3A will go at it here, and I believe it's going to be right here at the Liberty's Memorial Gym. You can bet Northampton, Nazareth, and Easton will be there. The 4th team has yet to be determined for certain.
Are we covering that?
Chances are we may, but we'll have to keep our viewers informed as to the developments of that.
Keep your announcers informed, too.
I'll try. Coming down to 1:05 in the second period. The big guy, Kleinle in blue for Nazareth, leading Umstead of Northampton 3-0. I believe we just saw a first double warning of the evening. Gene Watt's not happy with the speed of this waltz. And the wrestlers not responding with anything up-tempo just yet. 20 seconds to wrestle in period 2.
Well, that's what I was saying before when he hit one and then hit the other. A lot of times a double stall, they both kind of look at him and say, okay, so what?
Time runs out on period 2. Finally 3. Umstead nothing, and now Umstead in need of some points will agree to take the bottom position. Not where I'd want to be, but you got to go with the points, and the way to get the points is to get out of an escape for a point and work from there. Umstead fires up the engines, gets his feet out.
Keeps turning around. Gets one rotation around, but starts thinking of something else to try.
And we get word from Mike Zambelli that the injury to Umstead is just a bruise as he was crawling away from Kleinle. Kleinle's first takedown of the night, and only takedown. There's the escape now from Umstead. And he needs to make up 2 points to tie. 1:30 to wrestle in the third.
Now Umstead in on the single, but finally defending fairly well.
Out of bounds they go with 1:08 remaining.
Did a good job of keeping his weight on top of him, and that's what his advantage is.
Finally moves pretty well for a big guy. Final minute of action tonight, barring overtime, is now underway.
Umstead in on the leg, but again, finally just sort of putting everything he has on top.
Stalemate call. Back to the feet.
Umstead working on a Russian arm tie. Finally borne in.
I think both wrestlers showing a little bit of fatigue.
Now, warning against Kleinley that time. Another call against Kleinley. That's 1 point for Umstead.
And that cuts the gap to 1 point. Umstead not out of this just yet. 22 seconds to tie it with a point or take the lead with 2.
They've let the clock continue running here. Clock ran off, looked like at least 5 seconds. I just noted that Ronan, some of his assistants noticed that. It ran off at least 5 seconds. Now it seemed to back up one. And I think they noticed it over at the table.
Gene Wass heads over there to correct the situation.
I didn't notice it exactly, but I would say it was somewhere around 22 seconds when now they're upping. 24 seconds they're going to put up there. Ronan and Umstead won every one of those seconds.
Oh, absolutely. However, Kleinley getting a bit of a breather here. He looked a little tired earlier. Now 24 seconds to go, and a little renewed energy from Kleinley after the break. Oh, look at Umstead. Tries to get under.
Again, Kleinley just doing a good job of using his weight. Just stays right on top. Umstead fighting right through, though.
Trips.
Gets a takedown back himself. That ties it up. Now Kleinley escapes. He wins. If he does not, we'll go into overtime.
3, 2.
Kleinley getting the escape, I believe. We'll see if they said they were inbounds. They said they went over the line.
1 second.
Look, again, they had the good view. The officials had the good view of the line, both of them. But from here, it looked like he turned before he went out.
1 second to wrestle.
But he could have been his feet. If his feet were just on the line, that would have been enough to be out. So that's what I can't see it from here.
Well, forget that final minute call. We are going to overtime. We're tied at 5. Wrestlers will start from the neutral position. First one to score a point has the match. Finally moves forward. Umstead spins around.
Umstead spinning.
2 points for Umstead. And Northampton wins the final bout of the night. Umstead's first lead comes when it counts. Well, actually, he did have a lead before finally escaped earlier, but here we go with Umstead collapsed at center mat. What an effort by that young man to win this one 7-5.
I don't know if we would have had a chance to see that almost escape right at the end of regulation again, but I'd like to have seen where the feet were, but that was a very close call there. And again, both officials were on the line, so.
Final score, 28-23. We'll be back to wrap this one up right after this on TV2 Sports.